It's all about second chances. That's life. So I guess I got to learn to press the record button because unless I do, I'm not going to do it. Hey guys, how you doing? Bob Augusto here at Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda. Making my way into work. Today is March 26th, spring. The temperatures have now changed. I'm sitting here in traffic because somebody decided to do something up here that kind of ruined it for everybody. And there goes somebody. Yeah, there's some relatively major accident up here. It's an on-ramp onto a major road, so somebody wasn't paying attention. So one of the things I'd like to talk about a little bit is, why I got a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Why I opened up my my own YouTube page. I don't even know why. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it. I've always been into motorcycles, and I've actually found an affinity for YouTube. YouTube can certainly motivate you in doing things. You find like-minded people up there, and then you can find like-minded ideas up there, and then you can find like-minded goals that people have actually put down into film and shared. A lot of what I like to do is obviously I like motorcycles. I grew up around motorcycles. I've been riding since I was 15 years old. I had a lot of cheapies, a lot of basket cases, a lot of motorcycles in a box. That's how I got my skill set and how to repair them, and I actually enjoyed them because unlike cars, they're small, they're compact, they're easy to clean up. In the middle, you can continue a project on without making without creating maximum havoc around the house and so forth. So it's a good thing to learn on. Some people learn on small engines like lawnmowers and so forth. In my case, it was motorcycles. So I had several motorcycles throughout the years, and I've always loved the open road. Open road in a car, open road on a motorcycle, it doesn't matter. I loved to ride or drive. So one of my dreams was to go cross country. It's been to go cross country. I've actually done it in a car with the family. We took a ride out to Las Vegas in the Cadillac, which I thought was a lot of fun. But all throughout that time, I thought about what would it have been like on a motorcycle. I remember a scene, and I didn't snap the picture or anything. We're going down a 2-lane road. This must have been out in Montana or Utah or something. And I saw coming down the road 2 GL 1500 Goldwings. They were side by side on a 2-lane road going in the opposite direction. Nobody in front of them, nobody behind them. And in the background, there was dark and threatening skies, so they were coming out of it. It was a picturesque thing that I saw, and they weren't traveling fast. They were just tooling along. And I thought that was the most amazing thing. I wanted to be there at that moment and experience what those guys were experiencing. Or girls, I don't know what they were. But that's always been in the back of my mind. So a little later in life, I had a couple of situations where I had some life-threatening situations where I got some clogged arteries in my heart. I had a stent put in. Minor heart attack. I had a stent put in, and scared the crap out of me. 2-pack-a-day smoker, pack-and-a-half-a-day smoker, varied. The end result of that is I had to refocus in life. I understand the fragility of life, because when they're getting ready to code you because they're pumping morphine into you, and they bring the paddles into the room just in case and all that, and you see all that happening, and you know that all it's going to take is me to get upset or something to go wrong between that night of waiting to have my my arterial probe, what the hell they call it. Well, waiting to have your stent put in. Go in there with your arterial intervention with the little probes up there. You do a lot of thinking. And although it was minor and it was quick, It was an overnight thing, and it made me reflect. So what I got out of that was sort of a PTSD thing. I became very scared. I became very worried. I didn't like that. I didn't like being scared. I didn't like being worried. Every little ache, every little pain. And this went on for years. It's hard to determine when you're scared of, when you've experienced this, what you're feeling at that very moment. Is it happening again? Because the experience was so unpleasant. Not so much the procedure, but the experience of knowing where you're at in your life. Is that a precipice in front of you, or do I get to see daylight again? And it's a scary feeling. It's a feeling you don't want to be. Well, anyway, I lived through it. I actually started to get used to it. You reach a certain point in your life, you start really feeling the age. The age comes on to you a little faster, and you get weaker and weird and older and tired. But at the back of my mind, I always wanted to go riding. I mean, this wound up being kind of a bucket list. I've had motorcycles my whole life, but I started a family. I'd calmed down when I was younger, maybe a little too late, but I had that bucket list always in the back of my mind. So later in life, I had lost my dad, and then my mom got sick, and I bought another bike, and for whatever reason, I felt like I'd come home. So I bought a GL 1500 used, 1996 model, and I loved that bike. I loved it. It resurrected a spark in me with motorcycles that I hadn't had since I was in my 20s and teens. And the other piece of it was it was a reliable bike. Oh, this is a pretty good accident here. Shame on them. It was a reliable bike. So this was a bike that I could actually fulfill a bucket list on. And I decided to start thinking about that. I always had the bike to rely on. That was my solace time. That was my time to go out and think. And I really appreciated that. That was important. And while I'm riding, I'm thinking, oh, geez, what would it be like to get in through Utah? What would it be like to see Arches National? What would it be like to drive through Zion and all that other stuff? And I thought about that quite a lot. I mean, if you think about it, taking that bike out in the open road, I mean, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than the wind in your hair. And there's nothing better than the surroundings, the changing of the scenery. And if you ride long enough, the changing can be quite dramatic. And you're out there in the element. Nothing beats that for me. Well, my mom passed away. Situations in the family didn't get any better, meaning my siblings and so forth. There was a disconnect. It was a very sad time for my life. But I always had my family, my wife, my child, my son, he's not a child, and my motorcycle. And I spent a lot of time on that. The end of the year came, I started getting that feeling again. Lo and behold, I had another heart attack, okay? So, it wasn't a good thing, it was a bad thing. This was much more serious. This heart attack that I had was a closure of the previous stent they put in. This time when that happened, my stent closed, so my heart went into infarction. I had a heart attack. And I had a heart attack. I went to work. I had a whole day of a heart attack. Into the emergency room because I knew what I was feeling was wrong. They did the blood enzyme test, and sure enough, I was having a heart attack. So I had a heart attack that whole day. I had a heart attack that night. The next day, I went in for a cardio catheterization. That's what they call it. Couldn't think of it earlier. And they found the blockage. Well, they fixed me. They fixed me with another stent. They put a stent in a stent. They opened it back up, and I felt much better, which was good. But I did have a heart attack. There was a little bit of damage. And now I had to rethink all of that PTSD in the back of your mind. Finality came back in full force. This time I did a lot of cardiac treatment. Decided I was going to make a change in life. So I started making a change in life. I actually threw myself more and more into the motorcycles because that's a Bobby time. It allowed me to think a lot about my life. It allowed me to think about the bucket list. It allowed me to think about all of that. So I've been trying different things, okay? Got new motorcycles. I wanted to resurrect my motorcycle building skills. So I got the ZG. You saw the videos of that. I apologize for how terrible they are, but I actually did go through those exercises, and I have a nice vintage motorcycle that I enjoy riding a lot. It's nothing I'd want to take cross-country. But in amongst that ZG purchase, I traded in the blue GL 1500 for a GL 1800, a 2012 model. That bike is phenomenal. I love that bike. That is the bucket list bike. It's low mileage, and it will do what I want to do cross-country, and that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm actually going to take that cross-country, hopefully this year, if work allows me to. I'm going to do camping. I'm going to do all of the adventure stuff that I've wanted to do. I've been playing a lot with the GoPros. I've been playing a lot with videos because I've been watching these videos, trying to get some tips and tricks on how to go about planning these trips and go about all this other stuff. And I started thinking about vlogging, and I started thinking about chronicling this trip. You know, I've never been a picturesque person. I'm 54 years old, and if you couldn't fill an album up with all the pictures that have been taken of me throughout my life. So I have no immortality. My mom, she was a picture freak when she was younger. I can go back and see her life, my dad's life, which is fantastic. I want to do that a little bit with mine. I'm planning on doing it with videos. So I got a couple of GoPros. I put some GoPros. Got the GoPro on the helmet. Got the chesty. Got to put some GoPros on the bike. I got the phone. I got the phone figured out on how to take videos. Although this is probably not good because it's just in the car. And a couple of motivational individuals I'm following on YouTube that share their tricks and tips on filming, that share their tricks and tips on adventure. I'm loaded for bore. I'm ready to go. So I figured, hey, why not me chronicle this adventure? Why not me take these bucket list items and put them up there, so at least if somebody sees it, they say, hey, this is Bob Augusto. He shoulda, he coulda, he woulda done it in a different life. He got a chance. He got his second chance to do it, and this is how he did it. I'm not planning a fantastic life. I'm not planning adventures. I'm not jumping out of planes. I'm not doing all of that. But I'm going to chronicle things that I've wanted to do or things that I've done and do. You don't have to like it, but it's going to be there for posterity. So I'm out there, and there's something to look back at me about. I don't want to wind up with another cardiac event that could be ultimate or could be debilitating. 54, you never know. And as I'm laying there looking up at the ceiling, I don't want to think about, should I have done this? Could I have done this? And if I shouldn't, could have, would have. So that's where shoulda, coulda, woulda comes from. Should I, could I, would I? And the answer is yes. And I want to share it with you. I want to share it with my family. I want to make sure that I can look back when I can't do this stuff anymore and remember that, okay, it was good. It was a good time. Here's my good time. That's about it, guys. That's about all I can think about right now. I'm just pressing the record button, babbling about it on my way to work. Leave some comments. Click the subscribe button. I plan on doing more and more content. I know I've said that last time, but I sort of started the channel and all this in the middle of the winter. So I was pretty much relegated to the garage. 50% of all my filming I've done with the flu. So, excuse me. So I haven't really had a chance to do anything. I got a little video footage of me on the ZG after all the assembly and work. Bike runs good. Very happy with that. Next phase now is to get the GL 1800 ready and try to work out a plan. I've got some camping gear I've been buying. I'll share that with you. I've got some packing gear. I got some bag liners I can show you that are going to go with the GL 1800. I want to work on how I can pack the maximum amount of crap on the bike without, destroying the ride, and being able to go in and out, camp, not camp, go into a hotel, whatever, and see the best way to go ahead and do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm enjoying the fact that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm going to learn it. And we're going to go through this, hopefully together. I want to chronicle this. All right, guys. I still got a long way to work, but I'm done talking. You have a great day. Have a better day tomorrow. And I'll catch you out there again. So this is Bob Augusto from Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda. Have an awesome day.